Hi guys, today we're doing Eren's 9-month baby update. Calvin's playing over there, so he is obviously distracted. He can't look at the camera for us right now. But we've got little Eren with us. He's 9 months old, just a couple days ago, so this video will probably be up in a few days late. So yeah, so we went to the pediatrician just yesterday and he weighed 20 pounds, 2.8 ounces, which is in the 59th percentile, which is like really low because Cal was always like in the 80th and 90th percentile. So Eren's actually kind of normal size. As far as the length, his length is concerned, he's in the 98th, so he's 30¼ inches tall. So he's a tall boy in the 98th percentile. That's pretty crazy. So he is a big boy as far as his length is concerned, but he's a pretty normal boy as far as his weight. I was just watching Calvin's 9-month update and Calvin weighed 22 pounds at this point. So Calvin was 2 pounds heavier than Eren is right now. And Calvin was definitely a chubbier baby. Just looking back at his videos, he had like little rolls in his arms and everything. And Eren doesn't have that. So I thought we would film in the living room with the Christmas tree in the background. Super cute, right? So Eren doesn't want to sit with me, so I guess we'll just talk with him, doing whatever he wants to do, which will probably involve touching the camera and touching my phone while I'm trying to film a video. So he is eating about 3 meals a day. They're not like, I wouldn't say they're like big meals, they're more just kind of like snacks. Like this morning he had a few bites of banana that Calvin was eating. For dinner he usually eats pretty much whatever we're eating for dinner, just kind of squished up and stuff. We even had some, like a Puerto Rican beans and rice dish, and it was a little bit spicy and Eren thought it was fine. He was totally cool with it. He ate it like a champ. Totally surprised me. But he still only has 2 little tiny bottom teethers. But he is getting some weird ones up top. It feels like he's getting like the side tooth and then his fang tooth over on this side. And then it feels like another tooth over here is coming in too. So he's getting some teeth. This past week he has also been sick. We've all been sick in this past week. But at least he got sick after me and Calvin got sick, so we weren't all sick at the same time. And it seems like Eren's sickness is a lot less intense than me and Calvin's was, so thank goodness he's still able to nurse okay. He's a little bit stuffy, but it's nothing too crazy. You know, it's not really interfering with his ability to nurse, which is literally like the saddest thing ever when you have a little nursling who can't breathe through his nose. It's like, it's tragic. I remember Calvin was about 6 months old when he got his first sickness, and he was definitely very stuffy, and we had to like suck his boogers out and everything. It was so sad. So Eren isn't that bad, so that's been good. But yeah, this has been his first sickness at 9 months old, so I'm very, very grateful for that he's been healthy so far for such a long period of time. Because the last time I was sick was the week that he was born. I was so terrified I was going to give him my cold, but like literally like going through labor like scared my cold away, and I was perfectly fine after getting through the C-section and everything. So he is starting to turn his head to refuse food, and he's totally over baby food. He doesn't care about purees. He thinks he's a big grown-up baby and he can eat big chunks of stuff like everybody else. So he doesn't care for purees, and if he doesn't want something, he will turn his head and refuse it and not want to eat it. Up until this point, he's been like really enthusiastic about eating like everything, and just recently he is finally getting picky, I guess. So he's not into everything he used to be. One thing about the 9-month mark is that, at least for Calvin, when he was 9 months old, he started dropping nursing sessions like crazy. Like he just, from 9 months out, they were just dropping off like flies. It was crazy. So we could be in for the same thing with Eren. I really hope we're not, but he has the past couple days gone many hours without wanting to nurse, like 3 or 4 hours, and just being fine without nursing, which kind of breaks my heart because, you know, like up until this point he wants to drink every 2 hours. He wants milk every 2 hours while he's awake, and to see him go like 3 or 4 hours without even being whiny or anything for the boob is just like, oh, my baby's growing up. So we had to get a diaper change in the middle of the video. Somebody was super duper wet. Alright, what are we talking about now? Sitting down gracefully. So he has been working really hard at that, and he'll even hover for a few seconds. If he's like standing up against the couch or something, he'll just stand there without holding on to anything for a couple seconds. So he's getting so big. Like I've said before, from the 9-month point on, there's so many crazy changes that are happening. Like going from, he's gonna be able to be talking and walking and being a big boy in like no time. From here on out, it's like dropping nursing sessions, eating big people food, getting all these crazy teeth. Like, he just grows up so fast. So he has been understanding what no means. When we first started telling him no, he would get scared and like stop doing things, but after a couple weeks he decided he didn't care if you said no, so he kind of doesn't really listen all too much anymore. He does, we've been saying no a lot more because of the Christmas decorations. Like, there's Christmas stuff everywhere and I don't want him touching everything, and so we'll say no, and if you say it like that, he gets like kind of, they're talking to me, like maybe I should stop doing that. He's also been waving. He just kind of does like this little thing when he sees people, when he gets really excited. Calvin has also done this thing where he goes like, and Eren started doing that too, so that's pretty cute. He's even doing it right now. Go, do it. No, you're not gonna do it? No? There, he kind of doing it, not really. So I'm pretty sure he went through a sleep regression this past month. He's been over it for a week or two now, but in the beginning of the month, he was just waking up in the middle of the night, like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, just waking up and not being able to just like quickly rock back to sleep. So that was a weird period. And he also like wouldn't go straight to sleep after his last nursing session of the night. Usually I nurse him to sleep, but for a couple weeks there at the beginning of the month, he was really, really awake after that last nursing session and would just kind of hang out and chill and not act like he was tired at all. So that was a really weird period. It lasted a couple weeks, but I don't know if it was a sleep regression or what. Maybe it was just something weird going on in the house that was making him weird about sleep, but he's been better the last week or two. Sleeping, like, I'll start nursing him around 6:30 or 7, and he'll sleep all the way. He'll fall asleep on the boob and then sleep all the way until 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 if we're super lucky. So he is sleeping a pretty big stretch, you know, 10 hours or so at night, so that's been really nice. It's just kind of sucky that at 5 o'clock in the morning, he's like, on the dot, it's 5 o'clock, everybody has to wake up now. And he's finally coming around to a little bit of a schedule. He's usually napping around 8 or 8:30 in the morning if he wakes up at 5 o'clock, and that's a pretty set thing. And he'll sleep for a good 2 hours first thing in the morning. His afternoon naps are usually around 1 o'clock-ish, and they're not quite as long. They're not quite the 2 hour mark, but his afternoon naps are a little less structured than his morning naps are. Like right now, he's kind of ready for a nap, but he refuses to drink a boobie and fall asleep. We use the boobie as the magic go to sleep thing all the time. I totally nurse him to sleep for pretty much everything. Nap time, bedtime. I know that some people don't agree with that, but I see binkies are replacing the boobie anyway, and so if I just give him a boobie, he'll fall asleep. He'll like immediately fall asleep if he's really, really tired. He has started exploring the kitchen, which is kind of interesting. Even if we're in, like, the way our house is, like, this is the living room, and then we have the stairs going upstairs, and then that side of the house is the kitchen. And so he'll, like, venture his way around the stairwell and go into the kitchen when nobody's in there. There's no lights on or anything. He just kind of, like, goes and adventures on his own, which is kind of interesting. It's just, like, you know, just another sign of him growing up, that he's, like, ready to go out and do stuff on his own. He doesn't have to have us over there with him. He just, like, crawls his way into the kitchen to go check out what's going on in there. And along with that, he's obsessed with the freaking plugs on the island. We keep those little like plastic baby plugs on them, but he still has to mess with them and touch them and like mess with them all the time, and it drives me crazy because he knows that he's not supposed to touch those. Not supposed to mess with the outlets, and it drives me crazy when he has to go and touch them and I have to tell him not to because he doesn't listen. Like I said, he knew what no meant in the beginning, and now he just ignores when we say it. So yeah, overall, he's like really growing up. He's growing up really fast, and like I said, 9 months is a big deal. Rar, rar, rar. 9 months is a really big deal. It's from here on out, like, we're gonna have a toddler in no time. He's not really a baby anymore, you know, so it's getting serious. But along with that, you know, it's sad watching him grow up to a little boy, but it's kind of exciting too because we can go and do more things because he's not in the tiny baby stage. Like, we just went to the doctor yesterday, and like I said, he went several hours without nursing. Like, he didn't even care about nursing. And so I'm like, you know, remembering like, we're gonna have a toddler here in in a few months, and he's not going to need to be on the boob all the time. So that'll make going out shopping, going out to adventures and stuff a little bit easier, not having to worry about feeding him, stopping and sitting and feeding him somewhere. We can just go out and play and have big kids, you know, so it's gonna be an adjustment having 2 toddlers, but it's exciting too. So a couple things about me postpartum. I have been stuck at 135 pounds for a couple months, it feels like, a month or 2, which is 5 pounds less than I was when I got pregnant with him. I was at 140 when I found out I was pregnant with Eren, but 135 is the same place that I got stuck at after Calvin. So apparently that's like a weight that it's hard for me to budge from because I'm stuck there again like I was after Calvin. So it is lighter than my pre-pregnancy weight with Eren, but it's not as light as I want to be. But it's been very stagnant for a while now, just on the postpartum side of things. I haven't gotten my period back yet, and I got it right around 9 months after with Calvin, I think. But like I said, Calvin started dropping nursing sessions really quickly around 9 months. So if Eren starts doing the same thing consistently, that might be the trigger that brings my period back. But along with that, a little TMI, just as a little bit of a warning, but my sex drive is finally coming back. After Calvin, that was never an issue, but after Eren, I just never wanted to. Like, it was just really blah after Eren. And finally here, 9 months postpartum, it's coming back. So thank goodness. I'm glad to see it coming back. But with that, I'm kind of thinking maybe my fertility is starting to come back. You know, maybe that's part of my period coming back and me starting to be fertile again. So I'm keeping an eye out for my period coming back, but it hasn't showed up yet. So that's just a little TMI for you guys. I really don't have much else to talk about, I don't think. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. Let me know what else you want to see here on this channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.